I thank the chairwoman for yielding. Like some of you, I served as an elected official in state and local government and can testify to the difficulty of balancing a state budget when there are dozens of complicated, unfunded federal mandates that must be taken into account. In 1995, in a model of bipartisanship, Congress passed and President Clinton signed the Unfunded Mandates Reform Act, or UMRA. UMRA was designed to force the federal government to estimate and report how much its mandates would cost local and state governments, which was previously not the case. UMRA was not intended to prevent the government from regulating or legislating, but rather to ensure that decision makers have the best information possible when crafting new policies. I've always admired the purpose and spirit of UMRA, but weaknesses in the law have been exploited in the intervening decades, and they need to be addressed. For instance, most independent agencies like the FCC and the SEC are not subject to UMRA's requirements for their proposed regulations. Costly changes in conditions of grant aid don't fall within the definition of a mandate, and agencies can skip UMRA cost analyses if they begin rulemaking with a mechanism other than a formal notice of proposed rulemaking. Finally, UMRA measures only direct costs of compliance with mandates, and the law contains no enforcement or accountability mechanisms which allow state and local governments recourse if the process is not followed. It is my hope that this hearing will be a first step toward an improved and more transparent regulatory process that eases the burdens passed on to state and local governments. To that end, since 2007, I've worked on a bill known as the Unfunded Mandates Information and Transparency Act, or UMITA, which seeks to address some of UMRA's shortcomings and will help the law meet its unfulfilled potential. UMITA will ensure public and bureaucratic awareness about the cost that federal regulations impose on the economy and local governments. It will also make our regulatory apparatus more efficient, effective, and transparent. UMITA has bipartisan DNA, and its purpose is purely about good government, that of openness and honesty about the cost of regulations. These principles do not belong to either party. That is why my Democratic colleague Henry Cuellar joined me in introducing the bill, and is why it has passed the House in previous Congresses with overwhelming support from both parties. Republicans and Democrats can agree that every unfunded mandate the federal government imposes should be both deliberative and economically defensible. Thank you for your time, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for yielding.
The chair notes the presence of our colleagues, Congressman